Let's have our next participant, Mr. Ayush Kotecha from SCLS.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let's start with a question. How common are the following words to you? Pollution, population, radicalization, reformation, and above all, a nation. As common are these words in our vocabulary in our day-to-day life, so common is the corruption in our country. No need of any facts to prove this. What disturbs me more is not that we are ranked at 81st, but what disturbs me that a country which has potential to completely disrupt the average of world population ranging at second highest is the same country which is below the average on the points table at 40, while the world average is at 43 for corruption. This is where we go wrong. Now let's understand, this corruption has been a talk since ages. Be it from the prehistoric times, the historic times, the golden age, the modern age, the current age, the very empathy of this whole situation keeps on going on and on and on. And we every time talk about eradicating corruption, eradicating the ill-falls. It's a cancer, but for how long? When we are talking about building a new India, I'm not taken by surprise when one of my fellow combatants said, eradicate India. Because actually, that's the fear that resides in the person. That is corruption going to eat my nation itself? That's when the person says that maybe the very own existence of the country is in deep roots. Corruption, according to me, is not just what we have always seen. As we all know, India is a peculiar country with our own peculiarities and our own idiosyncrasies. So is corruption itself. So when we are talking about building a new India, we are talking about eradicating the Indian form of corruption. What is the Indian form of corruption? A very simple one. It's not just the monetary corruption. It's not the corruption that we know goes hand in hand. It's the corruption on a social level, a corruption on the religious front, a corruption on education level, a corruption on health level, a corruption on monetary levels, a corruption in the very roots of being a human-to-human talk. We all feel that corruption is very general and it's acceptable, but it's not. Imagine the third largest economy in the world runs two economies in itself. A very good shiny white one and the underbelly black one. At the same time, this very economy is rampant enough to destroy the very fiscal, the very monetary, and the very basis on what our nation runs. We have a lot of laws in the place which guard it. The Prevention of Corruption Act, the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, the Prevention of Benami Transactions Act, the Indian Penal Code 1860. But are these enough? We have competent agencies like CVCs, CBI, CGAs. But the very watchdogs that the Constitution has given to this country prove to be teethless at the time of performance. Why so? To eradicate corruption from this country, we need to lower the economic gaps between the 97% that's somewhere trying to figure out about their fortunes and the 3% which own every other 97's fortune. No wonder why only 15 paisa reach. Moving forward on this platform, a population where the gender disparity rules at 914 to 1000 in the juvenile ratios is competent enough to tell us that how are you going to develop a gender corruption platform? It is competent to tell us that if you are socially battered, if you are not backed up, how are you going to tackle these fine forms of corruption that leave no chances for a man. It's rightly said that fortune favors the brave. But we practice that fortune is favoring the one who's brave enough to offer. The fortune has been given to the fortunate. Thus, to build a new platform, to build a new nation, to revive this country, it's not simple, it's not impossible. But just like corruption, charity, and every other aspect, it's in our hands. Thank you.